join in. My name's Robert, and today, my brother-in-law Chandler, the head of reptiles Nick, we're all going to be basically teaching you what not to do in crocodile territory. Now, the rules are pretty simple, but we've got an interesting crocodile that's going to be demonstrating this with you. Scrappa is, in a word, a lunatic. He is an absolute lunatic, and I love him so much. So what you see here today isn't quite wild crocodile behaviour. He acts like no other croc. So, without further ado, let's get him out, eh? Alright, up at the big screen there, you'll see Scrappa. Now, the weather's starting to get cold. Now, crocodiles are poikilothermic. They're ectotherms, they're cold-blooded. So they rely completely on ambient temperature to dictate how active they are. The warmer the day, the more active. So on a cool day like this, for the most part, most crocodiles would start to shut down a little bit more. But Scrappa, he doesn't really play by the rules. He's one of the only crocodiles that we have here that kind of defeats that rule of crocs are only fast in the water, which is what we try to teach. He's the only croc that will keep coming on land. He just will not stop. So it should be a good show for you. Keep your cameras rolling. Now, what we're showing you is all completely natural behaviour. And in here, the only difference is this water is clear. Most of the time, crocodiles are going to want to hunt in deep, dark, murky water. So that means, for us, our job is easy. Just the main thing, the biggest no-no in croc territory is getting in the water with the croc. That is a recipe for disaster. Now, we'll watch Scrappa as he comes out. We'll focus our attention here to the mouth of the canal. And what I'm doing is I'm stamping my feet on the bottom of the pond. He can pick up on these vibrations. He's got little integumentary sense organs, these little sensor receptors all over his body. So he can pick up right where I am, and it gets him pretty fired up. Now that he's so cranky, he's all yours, Chandler.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. Ooh, Scrappa, look at the dude. Look at the dude.
Get him, Scrappa, get him.
Here, you just have that. There you go. Well, Robert, can you grab that for him? No, he's got it. Alright, go get Robert, Scrappa.
Come on, Scrappa. Come on. Come on, Scrappa. Yeah, good boy. Alright. Now, we'll see if we can show you another strike from the water's edge here. Keep in mind, he can hit that back fence in one go if he wants to. Come on, Scrappa. Come on, big boy. Good boy. Right up here, mate. Right up here, big boy. You make me nervous. What are you doing, big boy? What are you doing? What do you reckon, Scrappa? Here you go, mate. Now, Scrappa's playing this game. Can you grab that, Chandler?
That's all you.
Yeah, let's give that one more go. Come on, Scrappa. Come this way. Come on, big boy. Good boy. Good boy. Come on, Scrappa. Come on.
I think he wants to
Now, grab this here from him. Give him one more chance, hey? Give him one more go. Come this way, Scrappa. Come on, big boy. Come on, boy. Good boy. Good boy. Come on, Scrappa. Alright. See if we put on a good hit here. Come on, Scrappa. Yeah. That's a good hit. You know what? You can have that. Good boy. Alright. Now that shows you the strike from the water's edge. But he's got another trick up his sleeve. It's called the tail walk. Chandler, why don't you show us that?
Yeah, so this is a completely natural behavior crocodiles will use in the wild. This is called a tail walk. This allows a croc to come vertically out of the water, nearly their entire body length, to grab a bird mid-flight, to grab something overhanging the water. And Scrappa here is going to show us exactly why you never want to sit out over a body of water in northern Australia in crocodile country.
Keep in mind, he's got 3,000 pounds per square inch of jaw pressure. If he misses the food, and grabs Chandler, Chandler will explode on impact.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. That's stuff for him.
Don't do
one
that.
piece? Yeah, then he wouldn't be very happy. Piece of you, buddy. Ooh, now, as I said earlier, Scrappa can come out nearly here his entire body length. So if I sound nervous, it's because I am. Now you can see as he's underwater, he has these little membranes that cover his eyes that act like a pair of goggles. They're actually transparent, so even underwater, he can have his eyes open and track down potential prey items. Here you go, you want one more? What are you doing, Scrappa?
Just getting close to Chandler.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. What a brother-in-law's for.
We're just thinking about it.
It's amazing the crocodiles haven't figured out that if they came out of the water and walked up here, we'd be trapped.
Yeah, let's hope they don't figure it out.
Please look at the food, not the man.
Now this is the secret to croc survival. You see, they never really hit the same way twice. Scrappa knows the show. He knows what's going on, and he actually is trying to trip Chandler up. He's trying to change it up and catch Chandler off guard. They are incredibly intelligent. They have a cerebral cortex, so they learn, they remember, and they know us. They're working us way more than we're working them. It's really all up to them. And he's being very, very tricky.
He is, isn't he?
What do you reckon, Scrappa?
I think he really wants you, Robert.
Did someone take the batteries out?
That's the issue there.
See, they often hit towards a more dominant energy. So the more dominant the male, they actually recognise that. It's a territorial thing. So we're actually seeing that in practice right now. Isn't that interesting?
They say it could be dominant energy or anyone who looks like a feral pig.
Yeah, rotting flesh.
You know?
Like
that's what they love most.
Yeah.
They're scavengers mostly, so. What are you doing? You're real funny today.
Well, Scrappa's making you work. That's great. He's like, you want me to eat a sausage? Ew.
I think he's just seeing if the ramp is going to fall in first. Which I really hope isn't going to happen today.
He's a very intelligent young croc, Scrappa. So Scrappa was actually born right here at Australia Zoo. He's the son of Agro, so he's got that incredible amount of aggression. And he's got no way of tempering it. He's got no control. He's just insane, and he'll do this. He'll hit 100 miles an hour and then he'll just sit. He just won't move and he'll make you work for him. And then, once he decides to put it on, he's quicker than any croc here. It's just hilarious to watch.
Oh, here we go.
Singing about it?
Good.
Alright, Scrappa.
Big hit for Scrappa, everyone. He did amazing.
Well done, mate. Alright, now I'm going to try and go for one more strike here. Now, what I want to show you, keep in mind he's one of the quickest crocs here, but I want to show you that I can actually easily outrun Scrappa. Come on, mate. Once he does that initial strike, he loses that element of surprise very quickly.
Ooh, great feeling.
You make me nervous, Scrappa. Now, I'm confident enough on land. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I reckon I can sit down in front of him.
Careful.
I reckon I can even lay down in front of him. Not for long. Come on. But see, once I start getting towards his water, once I mess around in here, that's where he means business. That's where he knows he's got to defend his territory. And he's a lot more volatile in the water and at the water's edge. He knows he's quick in there. He knows that initial strike, that's where he's going to catch you. So, once again, the message is simple. Don't overhang the water. Don't go too close to the water's edge. And whatever you do, don't go swimming in croc territory and you'll be just fine. The reason why we stress this so much, the reason why we want all of you to stay safe if you're up there, is because, first of all, so that you don't get eaten, but second of all, for crocodiles. Because when an attack happens, crocs are branded as these evil, ugly monsters going around eating people. That couldn't be further from the truth. Only when we break these rules will an accident happen. We need to conserve crocs. We need to protect them because they're the apex predator. They sit at the top of the food chain and they've been doing this for 200 million years. So we need to learn to live alongside them, not the other way around. Now, unfortunately, crocodiles like Scrappa are still under a bit of threat. They were nearly hunted to extinction in the 1970s. Their numbers were dwindling. We almost lost them. And now, finally, after many years of protection efforts, they're starting to return to healthy numbers. But it's a bit of an uphill battle, and now there's an extra pressure adding to crocodiles' demise. Why don't you tell us a bit about that,
Yeah, it's true. So a couple of years ago, the Queensland government thought it would be a good idea to pass legislation that would allow for the collection of 5,000 crocodile eggs from the wild to be put into crocodile farms, hatched out, only to be killed and turned into boots, bags, and belts for the fashion industry. Now, obviously here at Australia Zoo, we are dead set against that. And crocodiles are the most important part of the ecosystem, as Robert was saying. They're responsible for healthy numbers of barramundi, mud crabs, everything down the food chain. So removing those 5,000 eggs would be devastating, not only to crocodiles, but to the whole ecosystem in Queensland. So we'll head on up to the big screen. We'll have my wife, Biddy, tell you a little bit more about it.
Scrappa back.
Thank you. He does not want to go home.
Locked up.
Just playing with it. We'll catch him in the least expect.
They're closing it so the crocodile doesn't get back in their hand.
Yeah. That was a fun show. I don't want to get eaten.
How did I get it out?
Aiden, you got locked down? Yeah, we're good.